Welcome to writingalong.com. Today's episode is you should quit writing. You should quit if you don't get any intrinsic joy from it, if you don't enjoy it, if it's not inherently inspiring or releasing any kind of deeper satisfaction within you. Quit it. It's probably not for you. Writing is not this intensely agonizing process that you have to force yourself to do. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to really just get in front of the page and get something on it. But for the most part, if you're not enjoying it at all, go do something else because you're probably great at another task. And you probably shouldn't be wasting your time and instead focus on what really you feel more comfortable with. Maybe it's another form of self-expression. The thing is, writing as a whole is a skill set. It's something you use everywhere in your life. You run. Yeah, I'm sure you run at some point, right? To go grab something, but you're not a runner. Okay. And you might do all these certain tasks, but they don't necessarily define you. If you want to be a writer, or you decide not to be, doesn't mean you're never going to write again for the rest of your life. You're going to write a text message to someone. You're going to communicate an idea the best you can to someone over written words. And it's something you can't escape. But the definition, the self-understanding of yourself as a writer, now that's something else. So I titled this video aptly, "You Should Quit Writing." Because you can't. It's going to be a part of your life no matter what. It's already present. It's around. Look around you. There's writing everywhere. There's a famous expression, the writing is on the wall. It's not just on the wall, it's all over your life. Your life is kind of dictated by it. Certain important decisions, all right, the laws and structures of your country are all written down. Someone had to write them or type them. You get the point, though. Your credit card, all those late fees and APR and everything. Guess what? Some people sat around in a conference room and discussed what would be the optimal way to do this. That seemed like it was it, right? That was the frontier. Okay, cool. Everyone talking about it. That's where stuff really happens. But guess what really solidified it? Writing it down. All these thoughts and ideas. You can't keep track of them, so what do? No, you could forget them, but if you don't want to forget them, and you don't have this beyond photographic memory, even then, you get them down. Words aren't just floating around. They're captured. We do something with them. People speak them, and they don't just stay as sound vibrations moving through the air and traversing eternally. They do, but not just that. No, we capture them. Much like you'd say you're out hunting or something, right? You go, or if you don't like hunting, right? You go get a harvest. You don't just let it grow. Grow for what? Even tilling the land so that you can reap what you sow. Same thing with our words. Saying them is very important. It's incredibly relevant to everything. But that other process where we kind of take control of them, or at least there's the illusion of taking control of them, that's a huge step. And really, if you go at it trying to, I'm going to control and master the English language or whatever language you speak, you're not going to get very far. Lots of people can tell you that. What you essentially are doing is creating a relationship with words. And if you, in a sense, get to know words, see what they mean, what effects and impacts they have on people, that goes a long way and really is what enables you to powerfully utilize them. When they know, I know I'm giving a conscious to them, I'm giving kind of a personification to them. And follow with me here. If you don't follow along with that, you're limiting your imagination. You might not have an imagination, or you're shutting it off most likely. Words are things that you can talk to and get to know. You might have a favorite one. Lots of people have favorite ones that they use a lot. And because of that, they have a certain connection to them that they've built and established throughout their entire life. And the way they use them, the way they react to them is completely different from the way someone else will. And that's how you get familiarized with these. You can call them tools. You can call them. Words are kind of like your friends in a sense. They help you do things. You help them do things. You give them a purpose. You give them a meaning. The words help you by helping convey all this, everything going on in your head. Without them, it's kind of messy. What are you going to do, scream? You can try, you can keep at it. It's what a child yearns for. A way to talk. If they're mute, sign language. Words, nevertheless. Blind, Braille counts as words, okay? They're all symbols. Don't think the English letter A is this pinnacle of human Western civilization or something, or wherever you're watching this from. Consider your language. Your language is not the final frontier. It's not the end. They're all just symbols that we attach to sounds. And when we do that, when we connect them and kind of integrate them into our brain's natural functions, our natural processes, that they kind of categorize, they index them in a way you can't really comprehend. People dedicate their entire lives and careers to trying to do this. People have lived and died trying to figure out how your brain indexes words. No one really knows, okay? But everyone knows that they do it nonetheless. So, a great opportunity. It's always a great opportunity to humble yourself before a certain level or element, dimension of knowledge enters into the playing field here, where we can't exactly penetrate it to find the meaning. But we know it's real. We know it exists. I know that you know I'm speaking and you're hearing me. You're seeing me. Your eyes are working, right? Picking up on all kinds of complex photons shooting from the screen directly at you. Or if you're just listening to the podcast version of this episode, you're hearing sound waves directly into your brain. Not directly. You gotta pass through your eardrum first, right? Gotta go through all this process. It's pretty typical too. A lot of stuff goes through you don't always get a choice what you hear. But reading, though, it's a little more selective. You can look through a book if you want. Yeah, some words are going to jump right out at you. But it takes a certain intentionality to really look into the meanings, look into the in-betweens, really immerse yourself, indulge yourself in the sentences and what they're saying. You don't read that terms and agreements, do you? No. You could. Everyone could. There's a choice going on. And when you do choose to write, you're creating this space. You're not just talking, but people are going to get a certain understanding. They're going to reach you at a certain level, and you're going to reach them at a certain place that can't exactly be imitated or replicated any other way. Writing is incredibly powerful. Again, to the point where you can't escape it. You can't quit writing. You can try. I'm serious. Go ahead, try not to write anything down. See what happens. Reading it's not different. It still involves words on a page, words collected. So give it a try. And you won't get very far. Now, if you want to call yourself a writer, if you want to really dedicate yourself to it, you'll love it. Meaning, you'll hate it sometimes. Meaning, it'll be incredibly frustrating every now and then. But it will also bring you lots and lots of joy. It will be an incredibly fulfilling experience and thing to dedicate yourself to. But make that decision, make that commitment first and foremost. Now, don't go at it halfway, or you're gonna waste a couple years, a couple decades. You know it. If you feel comfortable expressing yourself through words, maybe you just journal, maybe you just write thoughts down here and there. Stick to it. That's when you know it's for you. When it just comes naturally. Maybe you don't even like what it looks like when you're finished with something, but you want to do it. Something's pushing you to do it. Not someone else, but something in you is pushing you to do it. I keep at it, and you're going to develop a deeper connection with words, with ways of expressing yourself through it. And it all does pay off. And you'll find that you'll write clearer and more concise. You'll write elegant. You'll write however you want to. And you won't have control over it. You'll have a relationship with words, with writing itself. And if you're trying to write a book, I want you to check out How to Write a Book in 30 Days, the 10-part guide. It's free, completely free, at writingalong.com. Steps you need if you don't know where to start, where to go. Again, writingalong.com. Go and grab your copy. All right, I'll see you around and see you on the next episode.